Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're all having a nice, pleasant weekend out there like I am. It's just been a good, lazy day. I got up a little early and a little lazy this morning. Had some good fruit today, just getting a nice rain shower, watching some college football, and that's about all I've got planned for this holiday weekend. Today I wanted to talk to you about true self-care and mindfulness. This one is something I've used a little bit myself lately. I think I've mentioned to you guys in the past, but over this last 2 years, especially this last year or so, where I find myself now, I've dealt with a little bit of anxiety. Yeah, I'm not bulletproof either, but I've learned effective ways to deal with it. In fact, I've learned mostly effective ways to kind of head it off at the pass, cut it off before it gets started. Not necessarily trying to cut it off per se, but just like dealing with it. I think saying dealing with it and getting out ahead of it would be a better way to put it. Like I say, I don't go a lot into all my personal stuff because that's just not my thing. I'm not all up in my feels, telling everybody all about me. But, it's been tough. It's been a difficult transition, being back in this situation in Alabama after having been in the tropics for so long. I have some real concerns in my life, and I have just number of things that are going on. You'll just have to trust me on that. And, from time to time, I've dealt with anxiety. Now, I've mostly kept it at bay with this, mindfulness meditation practice of mine. And I will continue to do it, but it's just funny. This idea for this video popped up the other night because it actually just jumped out at me in the middle of the night. Yeah, it just literally jumped out at me. I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning. Normally go right back to sleep, couldn't go back to sleep, and just all this anxiety started creeping in. It was almost like a panic attack. Not the kind of panic, no, don't go getting all serious there. It's not that kind of panic attack, where people are like, oh my God, I thought I was having a heart attack. It was just seriously like all the walls coming in, all that panic, like, well, what if this happens and this happens and this and this and this and this and this. I took control of it. It was a little bit tougher because I was kind of halfway asleep, It's a little bit easier to take. It kind of jumped on me out of nowhere in the middle of the night. But I have my ways of dealing with it. And I found some things I was reading today, and I wanted to share with you. One is, like I say, the title of the video, True self-care or real self-care and mindfulness. It also wants to show that it's not all about anxiety. That's just kind of my roundabout way. That's just my issue I was dealing with. But there's a lot of different ways that you can think about, combining or enhancing self-care with true mindfulness. And this was very interesting here. A lot of times people will practice self-mindfulness. A lot of times people will practice self-care, but they don't do it in a mindful way. They're just there. So take a listen at this one. The perspective shift that'll totally transform your self-care practice. A little self-care can go a long way toward helping us lead happier, healthier lives. When we're spreading ourselves too thin and are constantly overscheduled, actually making time for self-care is half the battle. But even when we carve out time to exercise, meditate, or eat more healthfully, we so often still end up judging ourselves or are so distracted by other items on our to-do list that we're not getting the most out of our self-care routine. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, noticing thoughts and letting them go without judgment, can help you make the most of your self-care practices. With this shift in mindset, the benefits of your self-care routine will be amplified, and you'll see a boost in your mood as well. If you're ready to take your wellness practice to the next level, try these 10 easy ways to incorporate mindfulness into your self-care routine. Number 1, when you're in good company, enjoy it. In this digital age, it's a heartbreaking fact that we too often neglect a loved one sitting across from us at the dinner table because we're busy Instagramming our food. This is not to say that social media is all bad, but if it's monopolizing your social life, it's time to put down your phone and enjoy a really good conversation with your best friend. When you exercise, work out without judgment. Working out has amazing health benefits, but can so often put us in a judgmental and competitive frame of mind. Maybe you've caught yourself during a yoga class ruminating on how you can't do a particular arm balance, or perhaps you felt defeated after a run because you didn't reach a personal goal. While you still got a great workout, consider how much better you'd feel if you let go of all that judgment and just appreciated the fact that you made time to move that day. When you eat, taste your food. You're already making an effort to eat healthfully, but are you taking the time to actually enjoy your food? That green smoothie will taste a whole lot better if you're making a point to drink it mindfully rather than slurping it down on the go. In doing so, you can turn your meal into a gratitude practice by noticing and appreciating the vibrant colors and flavors of the food you're choosing to fuel your body. When you treat yourself, relish it. And while we're on the subject of food, don't beat yourself up when you want a treat. If you're craving the latest cinnamon roll donut, anyone, just eat one and enjoy it without the side of guilt. Get a vegan one, though. Same goes for treating yourself to a day at the spa. It's not very relaxing if you spend the whole time worried about your upcoming work presentation. Treats are special because they aren't everyday occurrences, so make sure you're actually enjoying them in the moment. When you travel, be present where you are. You're finally taking that well-deserved vacation. But if your thoughts are stuck at the office or you're spending your whole trip responding to texts from a toxic person back home, you're not making the most of your time away. Vacations are a time to vacate the mind, so let go of everything that's holding you back and set an intention to fully capture every moment. When you're outside, notice your surroundings. There's a reason we're often told to stop and smell the roses, because it's so easy to get lost in our thoughts. We often miss what's going on around us. Being outside is the perfect opportunity to practice mindfulness. Noticing the warmth of the sun on your skin and the sound of birds chirping in the trees overhead can turn your ordinary work commute into a relaxing practice that will help you start the day feeling refreshed. When you're listening to music, actively tune into it. Music provides a great backdrop for countless activities that we engage in daily, like working out, cooking, or commuting. But listening to music mindfully can be a great way to relax and unwind after a stressful day. Your favorite songs will take on a whole new dimension when you actively pay attention to the sounds you hear. Noticing the different instruments and how they blend together can turn listening to music into a meditative practice. 9. When you're reading a book, immerse yourself in it. If you're anything like me, you may sometimes find yourself reading the same paragraph over and over because your monkey mind is swinging from branch to branch. I can relate. Mind chatter is part of the human experience, and turning it off can be quite difficult. If you enjoy reading for pleasure, minimize distractions by putting your phone away, finding a quiet space, and fully immersing yourself in your book. Thoughts may come and go. Just bring your attention and focus back to what you're reading. When you're meditating, just breathe. The same holds true for meditating, which is challenging even for those who practice it regularly. All of the background noise in our heads can make sitting in stillness seem like an uphill battle. So make the most of your practice by letting go of expectations and just focusing on your breath. Even if you manage to clear your head for just a minute, you're still meditating. Don't beat yourself up because you're not doing it right. There are many different ways to practice meditation, and finding what works for you can be an enjoyable part of the process. But that's a good, when I read that, I'm like, damn, that makes a whole lot of sense. People practice self-care, but then they don't actually get to really get the benefits out of the self-care because they're not practicing mindfulness to it, like, okay, I go to the gym, but should I really be at the gym? I should be doing this presentation or whatever. It's all about, all mindfulness is just living in the now, living in the now. I mean, that's simplifying it, but that's basically it. Okay, now I also wanted to read a little piece from a piece that I was reading. The section is called Mindful Breathing Practice for Anxiety. But I'll put the links to both of these down below, especially for these, the mindful breathing practice. You might want to go back and check that out. Number 1, Begin this practice by acknowledging the mere presence of anxiety. Give a soft, slight internal nod to the thoughts, images, and sensations of worry and anticipatory angst. Number 2, rest in sensations of the breath. Let your attention drop gently into wherever you feel the breath. The nostrils, the belly, or perhaps the toes for those more light on their feet. Number 3, penetrate the sense of anxiety in both the body and mind on a deep inhale into the belly. Visualize the breath coming into and through the restlessness. The breath is not forcing the anxiety away. Rather, it's moving into it. Slow, deep belly breathing is important because anxiety often pulls us toward fast chest level breathing that actually sparks more physical sensations of anxiety. Number 4, acknowledge the anxiety just as it is on the exhale. Don't try to shove the anxiety out with a sigh or exasperated puffing. Again, stay with slow, deliberate breathing. Note the sensations and word images as if jostling with them using a feather. Number 5, continue following the breath, circulating between penetration into the space of awareness with the in-breath, acknowledging what remains on the exhale. Number 6, don't force or control. Follow the anxiety just as it is and simply penetrate through it with slow, deep breathing. Allow awareness to seep into and around these thoughts, sensations, and images. Number 7, take inventory of what remains after your allotted meditation time. What is there to be witnessed, felt, and acknowledged behind the anxiety? Take action to care for what needs tending. Like I said the other night, it kind of caught me out of the blue. It just like slapped me. And I wasn't at my full mind to be able to deal with it. In fact, I kept just kind of closing my eyes, trying to go back to sleep. Consciously, I would not do that, not trying to push it away. Okay, I want to just block it out, because a lot of times when we're trying to just block something out like that, that just makes it worse. But what I will probably do if it were to happen again during the night is just not take control of it. That's not the right word. I'm thinking of the right word here. But just acknowledge it. Instead of trying to, kind of, I guess like the other night, subconsciously being sleepy, I was closing my eyes trying to go back to sleep. I should have just looked the anxiety right in the eye. Because one thing I keep going back to, and I was reading that in something I was looking at this morning as well, and that is, think of all the things in our life that we've worried about. Think of all the things in our life that we've been anxious about that have never happened. Most all worry is about things for something in the future. Now, where they can be something real, there's still generally something that has not come to pass. In my case, it's something that I have time to do something about. It's not something that's just going to blindside me. It's something that I see the lead up to it. So it's just, like I say, it's just, I can't do that. And that's what I did the other night. Finally, after I couldn't go back to sleep, I wasn't really freaked out or anything. It was just like, okay, I want to go back to sleep. I like to sleep. I sleep a lot of hours. So, I just started doing that. I just started taking breaths, going back to the breath like I do, and just, saying to myself, almost not speaking out loud, but yeah, just having a conversation with myself like, look, this is in the future. None of this has even happened. You're worrying about something that you can do something about. So that's when I decided, finally I kind of got my breathing going, went back to sleep, bing, bang, boom. But it helps. It helps. I use this stuff every day. I don't just, mindfulness is kind of trendy right now. I don't just like do it to do my daily do and then that's it. I'm like a warrior with this shit. I use it in practical applications. I'm constantly pulling that stuff off the meditation time and, using it in real life. And then that aspect too got me thinking more like, yeah, when we practice self-care with ourselves, we should actually enjoy that self-care. We should be mindful of that self-care and we should be engaged in that self-care. So Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth, how I work through my emotional and mental health. Hey guys, I just wanted to mention too, I'm going to take a break from YouTube for a bit. I've been wanting to focus more on Instagram, and I've got a couple of projects that I'm really getting into right now that I'm working on. So just going to take a little time off here. Don't get any rumors and stuff started. I forgot something. I heard a rumor about myself about a week and a half ago somewhere, and I'm like, where the hell did you hear that? So don't go out there going all this kind of stuff. Jack's not vegan anymore. Jack's leaving this. Jack's not doing this. No little tongue swagging. I'm just taking a little break, and I'm not really taking a break. I'm actually going to be putting out more. I just want to really focus on Instagram. It's a shorter, and you can do it like, I've got my other phone, it's like very portable. I can take it with me on the go. Don't need to be uploading and doing that with the videos. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.